Hello. I'm live. I don't really have much to say. So why'd I go live? I don't know. It's the end of my work week. And oh, somebody's here. Hello. You can say hi in the chat. Oh, and they're gone. Well, basically, lately it's been pretty tumultuous in the house. My partner sort of got to a place of depression that led to some drinking, and he's an alcoholic. And he ended up waking me up at 3 a.m. on the night before I was supposed to go back to work after our 2-week holiday. And he woke me up at 3 a.m. and like stumbled in, like turned on the light. I had to cancel work the next day. We got into a big fight. I ended up staying in a hotel the next day. So that was Monday night. I stayed in a hotel because he continued drinking the next day. And we've since reconciled. There's a lot of tears, a lot of abuse. It's been hard in the house, but he's got an interview coming up. We're just hanging on for dear life for this interview to happen. And yeah. Oh, and he did drink the tower. He did drink like a week before this happened. But I told him, he bought a box of wine. I told him, let me drink half the box of the wine with you. So, and then we'll start over fresh the next day. And we did that. And I got him to like sing a song. I was basically doing my best, like while I was drinking half a box of wine, to like entertain him and keep him in a positive mood. And here he is now. I got him to sing a song. We went live on here several times, actually, that night, which was a bit embarrassing because he thought that we weren't getting enough followers. So he thought the solution to that was that we needed to start doing sexual things. And I'm like drunk and just trying to hold it together. I can stay incredibly lucid even when I'm drinking. I knew it was a terrible idea, but for his benefit, I let him like the video ended up getting restricted or banned, but I let him pull up my shirt and start playing with my tits in front of people on this live. And yeah, that video got instantly taken off. But it was sort of annoying to watch me during some of those videos. I have them set to private so I can see them now. The sun. I have this like unshakable hope and faith even when I'm drinking. So I was a little bit annoyingly positive. I thought I came off a bit like annoyingly positive. So I don't know how to really describe that, but other than that, I've been thinking about, what exactly do I want to what exactly do I want to use this platform for? Because I'm actually quite busy. Like I work, 40 hours a week, and I'm in full-time school. So often I come home and I study for an hour and a half, and I try to go to the gym in the morning at like 5 in the morning, and I try to do yoga 4, 5, 6 times a week. I try to give my dogs walks and runs, and so I'm pretty booked out in terms of what my life is and can be. I kind of want to, I wish I could study other things, but I'm sort of in this mindset. I'm sort of in this rat race, trying to like better myself in conventional ways of to becoming like a professional one day. It won't be till I'm 30. I'm gonna be turning 31 in on the 17th of January. And yeah, a lot of my efforts are going into like school and my body practices and things. And but there's like this whole other side of my life which involves like communicating with spirits and like lucid dreaming and astral projecting. And I wake up several times a night just because my dreams get so intense that I end up having to wake up. I wake up out of dreams, so I wake up like 6 times a night usually. So I'm not exactly a sound sleeper. And yeah, I've posted some videos about just some spirit stuff that happens to me. And oof, I need to brush my hair. And yeah, I guess I have frequent spirit contact, and I don't necessarily have to study magic or I don't have to really properly study magic or any type of spirituality in order to be able to contact spirits and access the different realms and things like that. I don't have any formal magic background or spiritual practice. Nobody's come so far. But I think that's what I'll probably continue doing. Like whenever something notable in the astral or oh, here's my boyfriend. No, there he left. Um, when something notable happens in the astral or lucid dream or just my own voice hearing, so I hear voices, I hear spirits, anything that's kind of like cool, I might tell a story about that. Um, and it's a good kind of to use this platform as kind of a journal for me in some regards, because I don't, so much stuff happens to me, usually at night, but I never write it down. I don't really record. So having a space where I can like tell a story about a spirit encounter will help me to look back and see kind of the progress that I've made. I've met some demons that have told me that they are old world demons. I don't know why this comes to mind, but I've met several demons that when I've asked them, "Who are you?" they've told me something to the effect of like, I'm one of the ancients. I'm I like apparently I tend to meet like really old world ancient demons. um, but yeah, I'm hoping to work on contacting better, brighter, happier, shinier, more positive spirits. And that normally happens when I wake up in the morning, when I'm like doing my yoga practice, usually when I'm like meditating too. Um, when I'm eating raw vegan. I was raw vegan for about a year or more, but my partner wanted to go vegetarian and to save some money. So, in solidarity to him, and because he's a really good cook, I've been vegetarian for the past 2 months or something. And I've actually gained a little bit of weight because of it, because it's a lot of pasta and rice and white bread and a lot of filler. And so, um, he makes a lot of cream and butter, and he uses a lot of cream and butter and um, like I don't know, like the extent to which he uses vegetables is he'll use like frozen peas and corn. It's a lot of it is very or he'll use like lentils and a lot of lentils and beans. Um, but I was really eating like I used to eat like a smoothie every morning with 2 bananas, a cup and a half of blueberries, like a half a cup of strawberries, and then for lunch, I would eat like 3 or 4 apples. I'd have like 2 kiwis a day, maybe 2 oranges, and then also a salad at night. So that was basically what I ate for about a year, and that was really working. That made everything really light and happy and shiny and positive, and, I didn't really even need to have a YouTube. I didn't need I didn't need anyone's validation. I was really um, intrinsically motivated and intrinsically fulfilled whenever I was eating that way and drinking lots of water and I was really on top of things and my boyfriend ended up quitting his job, which was a factory job, abruptly, and it's his job was making him miserable, but he but quitting and having no job and no backup has made him like a lot more miserable. But he's sort of in this uh, unique position where he's had to kind of forge his own path because he actually um, when he was 16, he and his friends were grave diggers and they got caught trying to get dead bodies out of graves and digging up a dead body, maybe a recent, I don't know exactly if it was a recently dead body. He had an obsession with death. He was a goth in like the 90s and early 2000s, and there was like satanic panic going on at the time. So because of that, they ended up waiting until he turned 18 before they finalized the charges and ended up trying him as an adult. And so it ended up being something that was on his record. And in New Zealand, so he had trouble getting jobs and ended up working as a hooker for like 6 years. And he did go to art school. He went to art school. That's where he met the woman who introduced us, who's a very talented psychic. And they dated in his early 20s for 2 or 3 years, I think 3 years. And he he went to film school and he went to photography school. And he was very, very talented. I've seen some of his work. He's got a great creative mind. But he just couldn't really get jobs after that, and there wasn't really much artistic photography. A lot of people in New Zealand, they'll get degrees here. They'll go to school because it's quite cheap. For if you have residency or if you have citizenship, it's really very cheap to go to school here. Like for instance, me, for each one of my whole degree that I'm pursuing right now, which is a teaching degree, is going to cost me $15,000. It's a 3-year degree, so it's $5,000 a year. And that's pretty. $5,000 a year. That's pretty reasonable considering America, where the school that I had been going to was like $20,000 a year or something. And that was just a state school. If I tried to get into. I was on the track to go to UT in Austin. I was in this thing called the CAP program, where if I could stick it out at a state school for a year, then I would automatically get entrance into UT. But I fucked it up. I was like 17, 18 and drinking and drugs and but UT I think is like, whoa, crazy. I think it's like 30,000 a year, 40 something crazy. So yeah, that's something that you'd be paying off until you're like 40 or your mid 30s, depending on the type of job that you get. Depending on the type of job that you get, you'd be paying those loans off for ages. So anyways, back to my boyfriend. School. So yeah, the thing about New Zealand is people will get a lot of New Zealanders leave New Zealand. It's this thing of a lot of them are quite isolated and haven't been very many places. It's it's a very isolated little island with a lot of people with mental health issues, actually. There's quite a lot of suicidal people here. Like the suicide rate is pretty high. Um, it there's a lot of goths here in the cities. A lot of people wearing like black combat boots and black and all black, and um, there's a really big goth scene and noise music and goth and all that shit in Wellington. And so yeah, a lot of people will get degrees here. They'll go through the schooling, and then they'll like move to like the UK or to America or to Canada, um, or somewhere in Europe or something. And so a lot of the most educated people in New Zealand end up leaving. And because there's just not a big scene here for anything, especially the arts, unless you just want to be a local artist who goes to like the local farmers market trying to sell your carved little carved figurines. And there's a big scene of like artisans that just tinker and make do little tiny paintings and things and sell them at markets, and that can't exactly make a life out of it. They might be on the dole. Um, but so yeah, so he was there. There wasn't really. He said that he had contacted all the biggest photographers, and after he graduated from photography school, he contacted the biggest photographers in Wellington and asked them like, hey, if you need an assistant, or if you need somebody who can just like hold the light for you, or just like if you need an assistant, like here's my portfolio, here's some stuff that I did at school. And he just didn't get any responses. So yeah, so he eventually ended up turning to prostitution. And he's not gay. He was a male prostitute. With his clientele were male, and he had a girlfriend that at that time, and I think they were in a very toxic codependent relationship. It's funny, that girl, his dating history has been weird. With the types of women that he dates. That girl ended up developing psychosis, and she was British, and her family, and she just was getting worse and worse and worse. I'm busy.
I know, but he's brought a fucking hedgehog in and he's chewing on it. Please.
All right. I gotta go. Bye.